Alright, so the other night, about a week and a half ago, when I planted my cornfield, chain came off in here, and it wasn't planting it started planting. I was getting off about every round, and I did a round and it didn't plant, and then I did another round trying to figure out why it wasn't planting. Finally I figured out the chain. But when I replanted, I missed the first 8 rows that didn't plant because it did plant for 20 feet. So when I was looking for seed, I found seed on that end. Didn't plant the rest of those 8 rows. And then somehow I missed the last 8 rows that when I was trying to figure out if this was planting or not. I thought I went back down those, but I didn't. So I have a bag of seed, and I'm gonna have to go replant that. We have a push planter for if it missed a row or something, but since it missed 16 rows, it'll be quicker just to fill this up and go run down and back, because the field is like 380 feet long, and I don't want to walk 380 feet 16 times pushing the little push planter. But I have this set up for sweet corn. I didn't get any video of me planting that, but I planted sweet corn. All I have to do to change that, though, is population. Uses the same planters in the box. So I believe we're going to be on this gear and this gear. All I have to do is loosen this tensioner, take that chain off, slide them over, put it back on. It should take less than a minute. So I'm going to do that, and then I'll probably set it back up for sweet corn, because I'm doing small plantings of sweet corn. That way we have sweet corn for all summer, not just one big planting of sweet corn and then after 2 weeks we're out. Plus, I don't think we have enough customers to sell 3 acres of sweet corn to in the matter of 2 weeks. So I'll get you some video. All you do to adjust that is, here's the sweet corn, but some of the sweet corn. I have that bag that I've already planted almost all of, and then I've done 2 plantings with that bag so far. It won't make it through the 3rd planting, but I have a whole nother bag. But we'll loosen this up right here without busting our knuckles, preferably. I made sure it was good and tight. That way that chain wouldn't come back off. And then knock that chain off of both gears. It's tight right now. Ah, there we go. Chain off there, chain off there. This is a lot easier with 2 hands, obviously. And then these little spacers just slip out of there, so we'll need to take 2 out since we're moving it over 2 gears, it looks like. Maybe a 3rd. Yeah, we'll take a 3rd one out. So you just want that lined up somewhat with the rollers here, and then obviously you have to make the gears at the bottom line up. So we'll have to take 2 of these out down here. I had it set up, I believe, for 15,500 on the sweet corn. And that way I'm setting it up will be 30,000 for field corn. And I could go a little bit higher on the sweet corn, but there's no real need to. It makes it easier to pick. And once I get this set up, I'll check my phone. I got a picture of I don't know if you guys could see anything there. I was not paying attention to the camera. But I'll have it set up to where I can pick easier, get up and down the rows, a little lower population, and sweet corn. They say with the sweet corn I'm planting, you can go up to 25,000 seeds per acre. I don't think we need to go quite that high in the sandier ground here. But you see, I'll tighten that. see if I can hang you guys somewhere. So, chain's tight enough on the back. And then you just tighten this set bolt back down. That'll hold that from spinning. Chain's a little bit of slack in the back, but it's plenty tight that it's not going to come off of there. Then you feed all these back on. These will go down here. They just keep the sprockets in line so they're not flopping around on the shafts down there. Yep, that'll, I'd like that one over a little more. Yeah, I like that better. Yep. So now it should be set up for 30,000, 29.9. But I'll get all the boxes, some seed in them, and then go over and plant that round. Okay, so got seed in there. Didn't put a lot, I got more in the bag, but I'll add more. I'll do one pass across and then I'll get off and check and make sure there's still seed in every box, top a couple off, they're not all perfectly even. But then when I get done with that, I'll probably have to pop these boxes off and dump them out back into the bag, and I'll have some seed left over. But I'm gonna go get to planting. Alright, so planting again. No need for markers because I have corn on both sides of me. I don't know if you guys can see it from up here, but it's about 4 inches tall. But I'm coming up on where it started planting, or quit planting. Like say, it just planted 20 feet on the end of the field, and then that chain came off and it quit planting. I'm trying to keep it centered between these 2 rows. But, going well. This stuff might yield a tiny bit less because it's a week and a half behind, but it won't hurt it too much. It's still plenty early. And that's where it started. Perfect. All 8 of those rows lined right up. Like say, it planted from right here to where that black stake is sticking up. I had staked this row because I didn't know if it got planted or not, and it planted that much of it, not very far. So that's just a piece of plastic pipe I had I stuck in the ground. I had one on each end. But then I got a replant over here where I actually thought I did plant. And yeah, I'm gonna run over a little bit on the end row, but the little bit I'm running over is nothing compared to the yield that this entire round is gonna produce. Plus, this corn should come back up. Yep, right there. Did not get it planted. 8 rows all the way across the field. So I'll line myself up in the center. And back to planting. Okay, so I got that corn over there planted. I touched up a couple of end rows, and then when I looked, I had barely any seed left in here, probably $25 to $50 a seed between all 8 boxes. I actually had poured it in there pretty evenly. They all still had a little bit in them. So I just came over here, and this is kind of my food plot area. You can probably tell why. It will flood out every year, but you can get a little bit of crop off the edges. But I kind of just made this whole little section basically from where I'm standing to that tree line to about 2/3 of the way over there. This is the food plot, but I haven't been able to get in and plant anything because of how wet it is. So I came and drove through here, and I hung the planter over into the mud a little bit. You can see how far over it went. And I just did a little curve around, and I came back and did another pass just to empty the seed out. Didn't want to take all the boxes off and have a coffee can of seed left over. I got everything that I need touched up, everything's planted. So that'll work out. The food plot, the deer will like the cover around the edge of it, and then I'll plant millet into it. So they'll have tall corn cover around, millet in the center. Quail will appreciate the cover. That's what I really have that for, is quail, doves, and then occasionally a couple wood ducks come in there when it really floods. But that should wrap up the field corn planting for this year. I think Dad got everything else planted that's going into field corn. So now we got to switch over to beans with the 6 row on Grandpa's land. I don't have any beans going in this year. I just have the one field this year, so all corn. But I'll switch this back to sweet corn, which is about half as much of a population as field corn. And I'll still do from where the tractor's sitting basically over to where that ground starts being disked. But I'll come in and disc this up before I hit that with the sweet corn probably. But hope you guys enjoyed watching the little bit of replanting I had to do. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and as always, have a good one.